Hey everyone, Sevash here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use our integration ClinicSync Pro with Nookal to basically enable AI receptionist or AI booking. So what I'm going to talk about is how you can enable the AI booking via ClinicSync Pro and Nookal. And also, I'm going to show you how you can set up the sync between the calendars. So whether you're using Go High Level or any other platform, Google Calendar or any other different CRMs or platform that you want to use instead of the no-call online booking in order to push appointments into Nookal. Now, just to let you know, we are not selling the AI, so you can use any type of AI, voice AI, chat AI, conversational AI, whatever type of AI you have. And what we are doing in here, we are enabling you and your AI to push appointments directly into Nookal and be able to update them, cancel them, reschedule them, and those kind of things. So that's why we're not providing the AI. We are providing the tools to basically connect your AI or whatever platform you have into the Nookal booking. Okay. So first thing first, if you haven't already sync and installed your sync with Nookal using ClinicSync Pro, go ahead, sign up. And what you need to do, we are working with the V3 API. So when you go to your Nookal and you click on Setup, on the left-hand side, you should see a section called Connections, and you should see API keys and API v3. If you're not seeing API v3, you need to contact your no-call help desk and tell them to enable that for you because we are working with v3. They have a lot more functionality and a lot more flexibility. So once you get this thing, API v3. You can follow this video in here. I'm not going to go through that. It will show you what the basic key is and how to get the basic key. Once you get the basic key, you put it in here. And the next thing that you need to do, you need to choose your zone. So if you look at this, the way that we provided the zone is exactly the way that you will see your URL. So I'm in Australia, so my zone is AU Zone 3. So if I wanted to select that, I'm just going to go ahead and click on AU Zone 3. You might be in the North America or in the Europe. You want to basically look at your Nookal link in here and basically use whichever is in here. All right. So that's been set. Once that's set up, you should see your dashboard. And if you give it a sec, it will show up. So basically, this is the new call that we were talking about. And as you can see, it will show your subscription. Usually it would be trialing if you just sign up or active. And then you will have your sync status. If it's your first time, it will be in progress, which means it's been queued up to start the sync. The reason that I'm going through all of this is basically we need all of this set up before you being able to do the AI booking. Now, in order to start the AI booking, you need to come back in here and enable AI booking plus KPI because by default that is not enabled. So you need to click on this and enable that. And what's going to happen is basically we will get a notification in the backend and we have to do some setup in here to make your account available for the booking. Once you enable this via here, there's a one-time setup fee and all goes through, you should be good to continue to set these things up. I'm going to show the example of how to set this up via assuming that you have Go High Level. But even if you don't have Go High Level, it's going to be exactly the same process, 90% of it. So the first most important thing is syncing the calendar. So whatever type of AI you have or whatever type of AI receptionist you have, they need to read availability from a calendar, whether it be it Google Calendar, whether it be it, in this case, Go High Level Calendar. And for it to be able to see exactly what are the availability on your no-call calendar, we need to be able to sync these two calendars together so we can know what timers are available so we avoid any type of conflicts and those kind of things. Now, the easiest way to do that is using the calendar sync that we have, calendar feed, I'm sorry, calendar feed that we have inside NoCall. and using a third-party app called Calendar Bridge and sync that up with your Google Cal. Now, the reason that I'm saying that we need to use a third-party app to sync that up is if you go ahead and basically sync your calendar feed from Nookal directly into Google Cal, you will only get updates every 12 to 24 hours. And that's how the Google Calendar works. It only fetches every 12 to 24 hours. So there's a huge gap, and you're definitely going to have conflicts and those kind of things if you do it that way. That's why we suggest to use this app, Calendar Bridge. It's very cheap. I think it's $5 per month, and it will sync every 5 to 10 minutes. So you will be right on time and right on point with no conflicts or anything. Now, the way that it works, it's very simple. So you want to go ahead and just start your free trial. The first thing that it asks you to add a calendar. And when you click on add a calendar, whichever platform you use, you want to make sure that you give it access to view and edit the calendar. So I'm just going to show you an example on Google Cal and what you need to click. So let's say I clicked on Google Cal. It will bring this up and it says Calendar Bridge want to access to your Google account. Now, by default, these two are off. You want to make sure that you turn them on. Otherwise, it won't be able to write into your Google account, okay? Make sure that you turn these two on and then click on continue and then you're good to go. Now, for those of you that are concerned about like GDPR or HIPAA compliance, you don't need to worry about those. And the reason for that is the Nookal won't push any data, patient data, into the calendar feed. All it pushes is the time, the date and time that is something is booked. So the only thing that you will see is what is the date and what is the time that something is booked, and nothing more. So that's perfect for just syncing the calendar and the time. Okay. So once that is connected, then you want to go on the left and click on the sync. Now, I've already done this in here, but I'm going to do it again for you to see how how it's going to look like. So the first thing that you want to do, you want to go to that staff. So let's say we got this staff called Adam, and we want to sync his calendar to Google Cal. Now, I'm going to show you for just one staff and let's say one service, but at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can actually do that for multiple staff and multiple services. Okay, so let's go and click on Adam. So we'll bring up their stats details. So if you scroll all the way down, there should be a section called Calendar Feed. You want to tick that on, and once you tick it on, it will give you a link, okay? This link is not going to work right now because once you tick this on, you need to save changes. And when you click on Save Changes, make sure that it actually gets saved and there's no error on the page. And once that's done, the first thing that you want to do, you want to check to see if actually this link is working. So I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to open a new tab and I'm just going to paste that link and just hit enter. Once you get some gibberish code like this, that means that it's working, okay? So that means the link is good, so we're good to go. Now what we do, copy the link again. And now we're going to go to the calendar bridge. So what you want to do, you want to click on create a single sync. Click on this. And what you want to do is you want to click on other calendar types. And then you want to paste that in here. You click on use this as a source. Leave that as it is, read only. Make sure that the time zone is correct. I'm in Australia, Sydney, so the time zone is correct. And then I'm telling it to push all these information, appointments, into this calendar, okay? I'm going to expand that and I'm going to tell it, yep, this is my primary calendar. Push it in here and then continue. It says, what do you want to push? None of these. I don't care about any of these. You don't need to change that. You don't need to give it, you can give it a tag if you want to, but that's not necessarily. Continue to options. You can choose where you want to send it. So this time I'm going to say banana color. I'm just going to click on create sync. And it will just confirm, double check. I'm just going to click create sync. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete the other one that I had. Let's refresh this page. It should show that in here, hopefully. Unless it doesn't let you to do a duplicate. Yeah, because I've already have that, it's not going to let me to do duplicate. But as you can see, I've already built this one with the lavender color. Now, if I go to my calendar, all right, now if I go to my calendar, you can see, so if I turn all the other stuff off, you can see that this lavender thing, busy 10 a.m. Monday, August 4th. Okay, today is Monday, August 4th. Now, if we go to my diary, you can see that I had a booking at 10 a.m. and that's what exactly is coming in here. Now, if I change that booking, it might take about 5 to 10 minutes for it to get updated. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do a test. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag this to like here. And I'm just going to refresh this, but it's not going to come ASAP. You can always force it in here. So I'm just going to click on resync. And this is just me not wanting to wait for 5 or 10 minutes. And let's see if this actually gets updated. Sometimes you have to, there you go. So if I didn't click resync, it would have taken like 5 to 10 minutes for it to get updated. But you kind of get a point of like how this thing is now working, okay? Now, the beauty of this is once you have this set up, now in this case, let's say that you want to do go high level, okay? So inside go high level, you will have staff created. And when you go to your staff section, let's say this is my staff and I'm logging as this one. I'm going to go to my business profile. Sorry, not business profile, my profile. And then here is where we setting up the calendar. So if you scroll down, we got the calendar setting. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add that calendar. I'm going to say it's Google Calendar. It's going to bring up what calendar you want to use. I'm going to use my calendar, this one that we're working on. I'm just going to click on continue. Oh, we already have this one in there. So let me just, oh, that's fine. Should work. There we go. Give it a sec, it will start grabbing all the information. There we go. So it linked it. Now the most important part is the conflict calendar. So I'm just going to click on edit. I'm just going to make sure that it does have that one that is selected. So this one, it's going to bring the information that are in here. Okay. So I'll make sure that that one is selected. So that's good. I'm just going to hit on save. It's going to start processing. Now, what this is going to do is if I now go to the calendars, hopefully it should be done by now. You can see that this has already come in here, 2:30 to 3 p.m. It's exactly the one that in here. So what this means is when your AI, receptionist, chatbot, or even just your typical calendar that you put online for people to book, they will not be able to book on this at this time because it is blocked off. Okay, so this was an example of how to sync it with one staff. However, you can do the exact same thing with multiple staff. So you either, there are a couple of options doing that. So you can either connect them to the, sorry, to the same calendar. You can either connect them to the same calendar, or you can have different calendar and basically just keep adding them in here. Because if you create a new staff, they're basically gonna exactly the same thing as what we have in here, and just basically keep adding them as well. Now, the other thing that you want to make sure is I'm going to show you how the booking and those kind of things works. You want to make sure that the online booking is enabled for those services. Okay, so now we're going to switch into how all of this is actually going to work. Okay, so let's just go ahead in here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to basically grab a link to this test calendar. So let's just copy this link because we're going to do it live. So I'm just going to paste it in here. Now I'm going to just bring it closer to here. So we're going to go and do some testing, okay? So the first thing that I'm just gonna do a test to show you how it actually looks like. So I'm gonna say Tuesday, I want to book for 10 a.m. And this is going to be, I don't know, John Appleseed, and just some random phone number, and John at apple.com. And let's click on confirm, and let's just click on schedule meeting. All right, now let's go and have a look. Right, here we go. So as you can see, it's been booked with the same name, John Appleseed. And if I click on it, it will show the phone number as well that we passed. Also, the email would be inside if I go all the way in the contact details, you will see the email as well. And this is the birthday that by default I set for all of my contacts, so it will by default pass that as the birthday. So that was the booking. So now if we go back to GHL, and if we go to our actually calendar, sorry, our calendar's in here, and then appointment list view, we should be able to see the appointment, John Appleseed, for August 5th, which is tomorrow, 10 a.m. Now let's go ahead and reschedule this one. So this is just basically kind of giving you an idea of what the AI is doing. So the AI can actually find this appointment if it's on the call, on the phone with the patient. And if the patient says, hey, this is my email address and I booked for August the 5th at 10 a.m., I want to change it to August the 6th. So that's what AI is going to do. It's actually going to go and click on reschedule and say, okay, we're going to make it the 6th. I'm going to make it 10 a.m. and save. That's exactly what the AI is going to do. Now that we rescheduled that, now let's go ahead and see if it actually shows in here. So let's go back to diary. As you can see, the Tuesday one is gone. Now, if you go to the Wednesday, which is the 6th, as you can see, it has been updated in here. Okay, so it has been moved, and these will start showing inside this as well. So you see, we already have this one coming, and now this one. So this is, I think, from before it hasn't been deleted yet. Sometimes it takes that 5 to 10 minutes, but it will show up. Okay, now let's go ahead and actually cancel the Wednesday one. So we are back in the calendar appointment view, and this is again, let's say the person called and is like, "Hey, I want to cancel. I can't make it." So that would be exactly like this. So click on cancel, cancel, and this will delete it from the new call as well. Okay. Now let's go back in new call. Let's just refresh this page. As you can see, it's gone. Now let's go to the Google Cal. That one is gone as well. So now you can see how everything is synced and how your AI, or even if you want to use like a simple Google Calendar or even a simple GHL calendar on your landing page, this will allow them to quickly book the appointment directly into your no call. So you don't need to actually work with two systems, let's say your Go High Level and Nookal at the same time. So this is currently out. And now for those of you that's like, okay, I'm not using GHL, how can I access this? We do provide API. So if you go, there are a couple of things that you need to do. Just click on here and just basically click on enable API access. And once you do that, you will be able to see the API documentation for that. So for example, let's say this one, we're going to enable API access, and you will get an error, like not error, a success down at the bottom that it is enabled, and then you can click on manage API and webhooks. Now, as you can see, we have other integration as well, but for this case, we have the no-call API. So you can see that the booking appointment, this is the endpoint. Cancellation, this is the endpoint, and update appointment, which is rescheduling, that is the endpoint. And each one of these, they need a specific what you call it, uh, request body. And the way that you can find them is if you go to the here where it says view API, full API documentation, you click on that, it will bring up our API documentation. And if you scroll a little bit down in here, this section is Jane. Then we got clinical. If you scroll further down, you'll see the Nookal endpoint. So it will actually show you. So for booking appointment, these are the data that we are looking for. Okay. So location name is important. So this is basically, now let me show you where these are coming from. So location name, you definitely want to put the location name that you have in your no-call. So as you can see, if I go to dashboard, sorry, if I go to manage, setup, locations. So this case, location name is Care Catalyst. As you can see, C and A are capitalized. So you definitely want to copy and paste exactly what we have in here. So copy and paste that into your load. Then the last thing that you need to do is basically you need to provide the region. So in this case, region is AU. So again, you can get the region from here. The first two, it's either AU, EU, or US. So that's the other thing that you want to add. Last but not least, you want to add your service code. So the service code is the service that you want us to book the appointment for. So if I go back in here, and if I go to setup, and if we go to services, so this is the service code. So for example, if I want to do the initial consultation, the service code is S001, okay? Now the important part in here is these will only work if that service is enabled for integration. So you wanted to make sure that this one is turned on for that service. Otherwise, it's not going to work. That's first thing. And second, the provider. So this is the other thing that we are doing. The provider practitioner name. You want to make sure this is the full name. You want to make sure that this provider is actually having access to the service that you are putting in. So again, if you go to the staff of that provider, we want the first name and the last name, okay, both of them. So we are looking for the full name. And we wanted to make sure that this has access to that service that we are booking. So this is very, very important. All right, now coming back to the rest of the things that you need to provide. So you don't necessarily need to provide these two. So these are optional. So region and basic key are optional. Uh, but we do need to, so we basically provide you with the details. You need to actually provide your location name. So that's very important. And also the location ID. And then we want to know what is the start time. So this is UTC, what date and time. And also, if you have any appointment ID, this needs to be provided as well. If not, we will assign an appointment ID. Okay, so the appointment ID needs to be there as well. Okay, and lastly, these are the minimum requirements for us to basically either create that patient or find that patient. So first name, last name, date of birth, email, and mobile number. So we need these ones as well. And it is always good, depending on what platform you're using, because we send you back the response. And the most important part is the appointment object and also the appointment ID, because this is the one that you need to work with when you want to update or cancel the appointment. So basically, if you provided us with an appointment ID, that would be the ID that we will return and you will use. If you haven't provided us with an appointment ID, we will generate one for you, and you need to basically keep track of that for that appointment if someone wants to cancel or update. And similarly, with the rescheduling and also cancellation. This is for those of you that want to use API and you're not basically using the native integration that we have with GHL. Now, for those of you that are using the native integration that we have with GHL, we simply provide you with three workflows. So once you enable your what you call it, once you enable your AI booking, we provide you with these three workflows, and each one of them is basically does one of them is doing the booking. So this one does the booking, which is pretty simple. All you need to do is you basically tell it, hey, when a customer booked an appointment and the appointment is in this calendar, and then you provide the webhook. Okay. And then these data, the service code, location name, practitioner name, and patient data, date of birth. So usually you don't want to hard code that. It will come with the contact, but if it's not, you want to make sure that it's there because this is a requirement for Nookal to be able to book an appointment. So if there is no date of birth, we won't be able to book the appointment. So this is the booking. And you will obviously get a link. This link is not going to work for you. You'll obviously get a different link. And then the next one is for cancellation. So if someone canceled the booking, similar thing. So this one, we have a trigger on the appointment status, and the event type is normal. Again, you choose the calendar, and the important part is you want to say the appointment status is cancel. And once that's done, you just basically call the cancel appointment API. Again, this is not going to be the URL, so don't try to use this. It's not going to work for you. This is just for our demo. And lastly is the rescheduling. So if I click on the reschedule, this is a little bit more advanced. So the appointment status has changed in the calendar, but as you can see, I haven't put what has it changed to, so we don't need that. We just need to say in what calendar. But then inside the if statement, I'm going to say if the appointment, so what you want to choose in here, it's basically click on this, you're going to click on appointment, and you're going to click on reschedule, and you can say, hey, it's rescheduled, and then say save. If it's rescheduled, then you basically use the update appointment, and you don't need to pass anything because we get all of those data from the webhook and triggers within GHL. And that's pretty much it. So I know we're running close to 30 minutes, but I basically wanted to put everything together to kind of like make sure that you guys have everything that you need in order to be able to start integrating your AI receptionist for Nookal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.